All right, this is a video for my client. They wanted me to come look at their palms after about a year in the ground. So what you see here is you see the foliage on the tree. The foliage on the sides over here, that's the foliage it came with. And then when they make new foliage, it comes out the middle. It's perfect because it hasn't run down the road and been grown in the nursery and blown all over the place. It's only been here, but it comes out smaller and tighter. And then the old foliage, you can eventually cut that off because it looks kind of incongruent with the new foliage. And that happens on all these trees. In fact, you can see up on this wine palm, up on the hill up here, same thing occurs. All the foliage over here, that's the foliage the tree traveled with and it transplant shocked. You can see the new foliage coming out of the top, way up on the top up there. That's gonna basically make brand new, beautiful foliage. And it's gonna take some years before we can get rid of all the old foliage and then just show off foliage that's been grown here, because the foliage that's been grown here is going to be really pristine and beautiful. And you can see on this tree up here, oftentimes the new foliage that comes out is not as big as the old foliage, and trees will do this to varying degree. This tree here didn't really do it at all. It just remained rather perfect through the whole process. That is a hybrid Chilean wine palm with a Budia palm. You can see this tree here is a really good example. And that is that you've got all the old foliage on the edges, it's kind of ranky. And then you've got the new foliage coming out the middle that's absolutely perfect. And so you're not going to have a perfect looking tree until the tree has made all of its own foliage in its new location. And some trees do that faster than other trees. So just know that when you plant palms, you can't really judge the palm and how the palm looks in the nursery. And you can't even judge the palm after it looks after a couple of years in your yard. You really need 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years for these palms to completely fill out with the foliage that was grown on site to really give you an idea of what the trees will permanently look like in their location. And that's everything you need to know with the foliage. Now, once you don't want to cut off any of this old foliage, even though it's kind of ratty looking, as long as it's green, it is doing its job for photosynthesis to garner energy for the tree to grow. If you cut off that foliage, you're going to slow the tree growth down. So you kind of have to put up with it for as long as you can. But there does come a day where, and it's very soon for these Guadalupe palms, the day comes where you have enough new foliage on top that's nice, where you can cut off all the old foliage, then the trees look a lot nicer. And in the case of these Guadalupe palms, they're putting out lots of seed. The seed on any of these palms will take energy away from the tree and cause the trees to be a little more yellow, and because all the nutrients are going to the seeds and not to the foliage growth. So I'm going to have them cut off all of that hanging seed pods down. There's hundreds of pounds of fruit hanging off those trees that was produced. Means the trees are really happy, but it also means that all the energy is being diverted to those seeds, and that's a lot of calories that could be utilized in the foliage instead. And that's pretty much everything you need to know.